Salutations everybody, it is Matty here today. Wholesome content alert. Like, prepare the feels. I'm warning you right now, man. They're coming in hot. Be ready. So it starts off with a pretty upsetting story about Bethesda's E3, but it turns into something about Elder Scrolls 6 and our first look at a character model in that game, and it feels so good to see this story actually come true. But let's get into what I'd imagine is going to be the upsetting stuff for most, which is Bethesda confirming that both Starfield and Elder Scrolls 6 will have zero presence at this year's E3. This information comes from GameSpot.com. Let's get into the exact quotes from Todd Howard himself. That's just a little sneak peek at the technology that we've been building. Bethesda executive producer Todd Howard, I swear his position changes every time I see it in an interview, said during a PAX East panel in regards to further details about a new game engine. People are going to see the tech at first actually in Starfield, and so that tech will have like the second version of it in Elder Scrolls 6. And before anyone asks, please be patient, it's going to be a long time. It's not something we're going to be talking about at E3, either of those games this year. And so patience, please. But given the Elder Scrolls anniversary, we did want to give everybody a taste. Todd Howard has already said he knows the release dates for both games, but he's not going to tell as it would be foolish to say it. During PAX Australia 2018, Bethesda marketing boss Pete Hines and ZeniMax Online Studios game director Matt Firor said that the Elder Scrolls 6 is still a long ways off, most likely releasing on the next generation of console hardware. Howard said something similar about Starfield during last year's E3, but clarified, I can't absolutely say yes to leaving current generation consoles behind. We're not going to limit the game that way yet. I'm willing to leave current console generations behind, but it's not the priority right now. I'd put it that way. So the new technology that we are somewhat familiar with the Elder Scrolls 6 is actually, there was an interview with Todd Howard and Ted Price from Insomniac Games, and Todd Howard had confirmed that there was a brand new animation system actually being added into future Bethesda Game Studios titles, starting with Starfield.
And so usually what's happening, you know, take an animation system change that we're doing right now. We're finishing for one of our projects, though that's a project that's in pre-production, getting a new animation system, whereas the one that's in full production is using the old one. But those people look, and what happens though is that fuels them. The animators in production are commenting on the animation system in pre-production, and they're getting excited for, hey, I'm gonna get to use that when I roll onto when that project rolls onto.
So not only that, but also the process they're using to create character models. And that tease that Todd Howard was talking about, well, here's what it is, and it's gonna feel really good. So I made a video a bunch of months back about Shirley, who is a Skyrim Let's Player at the age of 82, really dedicated to the Bethesda community, and she's just a fun content creator to watch.
You've got any other thoughts like that?
This is bringing back bad memories for me. My scars itch in places like this.
Ew.
You have something to say?
No.
Come on, let's push on and get this over with.
Yeah.
I'm uncomfortable here.
Me too.
Now, what happened was, a fan had actually spotted a comment she posted on Pete Hines saying that the Elder Scrolls 6 release window would be a very long way away. And she said, I guess this puts the nail in my coffin, Curry wrote. When Skyrim 6 comes out, I'll be 88, so I probably won't get to play it. Apparently, much of the Skyrim subreddit agreed that she should be in Elder Scrolls 6, as the original post received over 9,000 upvotes and even sparked a petition on change.org, which currently, at the time I made that video, had 1396 signatures at the time of writing it. Phantom Scribbler has now added a second post which calls on the community to help create a Grandma Shirley themed follower mod for Skyrim. According to the post, Curly is enthusiastically on board with this idea. And well, Bethesda Game Studios actually added her to the game, and they showed off her character model, which you can see right now, and it's pretty mind-boggling when it comes to graphical details for a Bethesda Game Studios game. We can actually see that they legitimately scanned her face into this game, and that is going to be a technology used for the Elder Scrolls 6, which is something we should kind of expect when it comes to these new games coming out on the next generation of hardware. Graphics should be pushed. And I say this with zero disrespect, so Shirley, if you see this video, I'm not saying anything mean, but like you can actually see like on her neck, there are wrinkles there. There is a level of detail that you don't see in other Bethesda Game Studios models, and it's very mind-boggling to imagine this is going to be what's used in the Elder Scrolls 6. Hopefully there is that level of graphical fidelity inside Starfield. And I know some of you out there are thinking what I'm about to say, which is, yes, the game can look good, but is the writing good? Are the quests good? That's very important, but let's be honest, Bethesda Game Studios games have never been the graphical powerhouses for most RPGs, and so it's nice to see them actually presenting something that moves that forward a bit. Also, if it was not apparent enough, ladies and gentlemen, Elder Scrolls 6 simply has to be set in Hammerfell. I thought the initial reveal trailer suggested that. There are lore points in Skyrim that point to it going to Hammerfell and a conflict brewing there. And now with these brand new images, oh my gosh, it's gotta be happening there, which is what I've wanted ever since we did play Skyrim. So that's good news in my book, but more importantly is they're highlighting in this video brand new technology that can take real world images and scan them into the game. So yes, Elder Scrolls 6 is going to look insanely good.
We're building the technology now that is going to fuel our future games.
We're using photogrammetry to scan in all these real-world assets and push our future tech for games to levels we have not done before.
Hopefully also Starfield. But what this also may indicate is if Bethesda wants the game to look good, these people will look human, or whatever race they actually are in Elder Scrolls, but also they have to act in a humane way. So hopefully, ladies and gentlemen, we see them continue to upgrade the animations like Todd Howard suggested in that interview I showed earlier. Shirley had actually confirmed it herself over on Twitter. Someone said, if that's true, hats off to them. And Shirley said, it's true. Did you see me in the skull cap as they were scanning me? They said, that's great. Another God Howard miracle. Those caps look uncomfortable, but I'd do anything to get in a game, let alone a BGS game. Good for you. Enjoy meeting yourself in game. She said, I called him God Howard. I'm so embarrassed. So say, man, this is a feel-good story. And to really wrap up that entire story here, let's take a look at Shirley actually meeting Todd Howard.
I have started playing Skyrim again because of you, or I'm going out and buying that because of you, or I used to play it years ago and put it away. Now I'm going to get it again and play it.
I'm sure.
It's weird.
Well, seeing it through your eyes has been a huge treat to everybody here, so you should know that. We heard you were coming. Everyone was super excited. Like, is she really coming? Is this really happening? So.
And I'm like, did they really ask me to come?
Yeah. Let's get a picture.
Ah, man. I don't know. It brings a smile to my face. And I like seeing these natural human encounters in games and seeing stuff like this being acknowledged in a smart way. Obviously, Bethesda needs to gain some good PR. We know that, and we've seen multiple moves in this last week alone, signifying that they understand they need to win back some goodwill. I mean, they're giving an extra copy of Wolfenstein Youngblood away for free. We're actually seeing them add Shirley Curry into Elder Scrolls 6, and I may have in this video called her Shirley Curly a couple of times because it just rolls off the tongue. Apologies if I did so. But also, it signifies maybe where the games industry is trending, because we also saw Gearbox's panel, which I know was mired by a lot of technical issues, and they really distracted from the overall presentation, but you could tell they were very off script. It was very human in nature. You could see the genuine nerves, but also excitement of a development team about to reveal a game for the first time in a very long while, and they knew how special it was to fans, and it was an event very much for fans, and the PAX East panel really backed them that whole time. And it shows where I guess gaming's really heading, right? It's developed a lot, it's matured a lot, and seeing stories like this that just feel good and we can celebrate games and what they are and memorialize people, that type of stuff is incredible. And Bethesda's no stranger to that. We've actually seen them do it in the past with fans who have passed away, and we've seen top-rated Reddit posts bring attention to those stories of diehard BGS fans who passed too soon and then were added into the game afterwards as quest givers. The most recent one we actually saw was in Nuka World, and it was just really touching to see something like that. And down the line, when Elder Scrolls 6 is out, I believe it will be equally as touching to see that type of moment in that game packed away. I can't wait to see how we meet her, how she's going to be put into the game, because there were ideas on that original thread that suggested what they should do with Shirley if they put her in the game, and now that they are putting her in the game, maybe that's like the first actual amount of details we have on it. What's even crazier though is Shirley actually knows about Elder Scrolls 6 more than any of us here, so pretty mind-boggling stuff right there. Anyway, good for her. I wanted to share this feel-good story with all of you out there. I hope you enjoyed this because it just put a smile on my face. I haven't really stopped smiling this whole video because it's awesome to see not only a really good story like this, but also Bethesda trying to earn some good PR back in the right way, I feel. You know, giving that extra co-op copy out, also doing something like this. It feels very natural and, like I said earlier, very humane. And so I'm a big fan of that. So once again, congrats to Shirley. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts on all of this in the comments down below. Fire away, ladies and gentlemen. Other than that, follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook. Those links are in the description, as most of you know, along with my Patreon. Do consider supporting that, as it fuels all the content I create here. Stay sexy, stay active. I love you all. Peace.